Hello guys, I've got a very special video for you today. I've recorded one of our private group calls with our Inner Circle network. Some of the students I'm working alongside through the entire process of building, growing and scaling their e-commerce businesses. And we covered an extremely important topic that every business owner who's growing any form of business online needs to know, especially in the amazing world of e-commerce. So we went over omni-channel marketing. One of the biggest problems I see new e-commerce store owners face is they're relying entirely on one marketing channel to acquire all of their business. And this presents a lot of problems which we're going to cover in the duration of this video. So sit back, enjoy, have a pen and paper in front of you. Let's build empires, let's build greatness, and make lots of money in the process. But we're going to get firing off. I'm going to give you guys some heat today. We're going to be talking about omni-channel marketing. Now, you guys are probably, I know you guys, so you're all going to be at like different skill sets. Okay, so some of you are more advanced, scaling stores. Some of you are going to be just starting out. Some of you are going to be building your stores. So I'm going to take that into consideration, but for the most part, teach you guys at quite a basic level, omni-channel marketing. So, I mean, before we jump into things, who knows what omni-channel marketing is?
Is it kind of spreading your ad spend across different channels like Google, Snapchat, all sorts, instead of just Facebook?
In super simple terms, yes. So one of the biggest problems that I see across all e-commerce brands is that they're relying solely on acquiring customers from one channel, okay? So they've got their store, okay, they've got a fantastic product, they've got fantastic profit margins, they've got a great website, and now they're running Facebook ads. And their entire business is predicated purely off running Facebook ads, okay? They might even just be running Facebook ads in the UK, for example. Okay, so that's where they get all of their business from. Now, the problem with doing that is, all right, let's say you're just running Facebook ad. What happens if your Facebook ad account gets banned? Okay, and you only have Facebook ads running. Well, your business overnight is going to get shut down. Okay, or let's say you're running ads only in the UK, and then let's say something happens to the UK, a new tax law gets put into place. All of a sudden, your entire business is predicating on the UK, and it's a bad idea to now actually sell into the UK. So what we have to do as e-commerce business owners is essentially spread ourselves out, okay, and not rely on any one marketing channel. Now, this will develop over time. So you don't just want to like straight off the bat have loads and loads of marketing channels. I'm going to dive into what ones you guys can use for your business, how to use them, etc. in a second. But don't just rely on basically one meta ads, right? Or a lot of people get into e-com and they basically say they're getting into e-com, they're doing TikTok organic drop shipping. Okay, you guys have probably heard a lot of the time people, I'm a TikTok organic drop shipper, which is great, and you can make a lot of money from that. But what happens if TikTok dies out as a platform in a year's time? Your business is now under. Okay, so I've got a screen share for you guys. It's like a mini presentation, and we will jump into things. And yeah, as I say, if you guys do have questions, feel free to fire away. We've also got Phil in as well. So Phil, he's my brother. He's an absolute machine in e-commerce. And if you guys have questions in the chat that you guys want to ask, of course, you can just ping them in the chat as well. And at the end, we will do a Q&A for you guys as well. Okay. So omni-channel marketing, if I dive into it. So what problems do e-commerce brands face? Well, we pretty much covered this. Most e-commerce brands, especially new brands, are relying entirely on one marketing channel to acquire all their new customers. Okay, so their entire business is literally predicated off Facebook ads for the most part. And another problem that they face is that they expect these customers or these prospects, okay, in this presentation, I'm going to refer it to a prospect as to someone who you're trying to convert into a sale, okay? Someone who might have seen your brand, they might have seen your store or seen your product, and your goal is to convert them into a sale. That's a prospect, okay? And people expect prospects to see an ad, okay, or to see a post on Instagram, and they expect them just to buy instantly the first time they ever see your brand or your product. But that is not how sales are made in e-com, and frankly, for any business, okay? In order to get someone from completely unaware of your brand or your product and turn them into a customer where they're paying you their hard-earned money, there is going to be a customer journey that has to unfold, okay? There's a process to it, and it's going to take multiple touch points for someone to actually see your brand, see your product before they actually pull the trigger. So when you're running ads, that's why we have lots of different ads in place. So different people can see lots of different ads over a period of time. And it could take a month from the time someone saw your brand or your product for the first ever time, all the way to actually converting into a customer. So your goal with marketing is to build a real connection and relationship with your customers over a period of time. We're not just looking for quick one-time sales in e-commerce. Another problem that a lot of e-commerce brand owners face is that they get a sale, they get their Shopify notification, £50 and 99 pence has come through. And they're super happy, brilliant, they've got a sale, and then they just move on and try and find the next customer. And they're going through this repetitive cycle of just constantly getting a customer, trying to find a new customer. And it's just a very, very repetitive cycle. But what we need to do is treat a customer as a relationship, okay, as a real person. And through our marketing, primarily through our content, through lots of different social media channels, build that relationship over time. So that one sale that you get, that relationship that you've created and that you've nurtured is now a relationship where they can keep transferring you money over and over and over again, okay? And that's where the concept of lifetime value comes into play, okay? How much a customer is worth to you over a certain period of time, okay? So does that all make sense? Do you guys have any questions about that? Awesome. So yeah, big problem that e-com brands face. So how do we build and nurture prospects over a period of time, knowing the fact that they're not just going to buy instantly? Unless you're selling like a £5 product or a 15 or a £20 product, for the most part, they're going to have to see your brand over and over and over again before they actually buy. I mean, if you guys ask yourself, when was the last time that you were scrolling on Instagram, you see an advert for a product, you've never seen this product before, okay? You see the ad for a product, you click on the link and you buy straight away. It's very, very rare. What happens most of the time is you see a brand or you see a product, you check it out, you might explore the website, but then you're probably going to leave the website. You're not going to buy straight away. You might go and have a look at some competitors. You might completely forget about the brand or product. Then you might get retargeted with another ad. Okay, and that might be on Instagram. And then 3 days later, you might be on YouTube, and all of a sudden you see a YouTube ad. Okay, and the YouTube ad is the one that gets you onto the website. But perhaps you still don't purchase. Perhaps then you go onto their email list and you sign up to a company's email list. And from their email list, that might be the touch point that actually gets you to transfer your money to them, okay, and purchase. So there's a few different layers of omni-channel marketing, okay, or marketing. And we got to know the difference between single channel marketing, multi-channel marketing, and omni-channel marketing, okay? What we want to build is a brand that utilizes omni-channel marketing, which is a process. This can't be done overnight, okay, guys? So the most common form for all new e-com brands to follow is basically single channel marketing. So they have a product, they have a website, and they're relying on meta ads to get all of their customers, okay? One marketing channel, or you might be just relying on Google ads or just relying on organic, for example, okay? Then we have the next layer of marketing, which is multi-channel marketing, which is better than single channel marketing. Multi-channel marketing is basically where you're using multiple platforms to market your products. So you might have Instagram, you might have Facebook, you might have TikTok, and you might have, for example, you might have influencers running all at once, okay? And that's very, very good. And that's where we want to get all brands to. But what a lot of brands do is they have these different channels, okay? For example, as I say, they have their YouTube, they have their influencers, they have their TikTok, but all of these platforms within the marketing, everything's very inconsistent, okay? And for example, the fonts that they may use may be completely different across all of these channels. Or for example, how they actually speak to their target audience is going to be completely different across all of these different channels. So it's inconsistent, okay? Whereas omni-channel marketing is where you have basically a very consistent and cohesive customer journey across all platforms, okay? So let's say, for example, you have your Instagram, you have your Facebook marketing, you got content going on YouTube, you got content going on YouTube Shorts, you got content going on TikTok, you got content going on YouTube ads, for example. Okay, you're going omni-channel, you're going multi-channel. But within this, the branding is consistent. How you actually speak to your target audience is consistent. The color schemes across the marketing are all super, super consistent. Okay. The pain points that you're targeting are super, super consistent. Okay. And that's really where we want to get to. Does that all make sense for you guys? Does anybody have any questions? Awesome. Okay. So basically, takeaway is omni-channel is a cohesive and consistent customer experience. There, you're not relying just on one platform, okay? But you spread yourself out. And basically, what this also does is makes your business more bulletproof, okay? So as you know, if you're just relying on meta ads and your meta ad account gets banned, which is a very common issue, which we do have solutions for, absolutely. And if there ever comes down, like if you ever get in that situation, just get in contact with me and I can help you solve it. However, there's still time involved to get your ad account back up and running, or there's still an investment from a financial perspective from your side, okay? And if your entire business is predicated on that, you're pretty screwed, okay? But if you're building it as even like a brand, okay, let's look at it from an investor's perspective, because we always build businesses to sell. Okay, and that should always be your goal when you're building a brand is, can we sell this business? Okay. Well, if you've got a business and an investor's looking at it and they have 10 different marketing channels all running at once, okay, that's very, very enticing because they know that that business is very hard to shut it down, or it's very hard to take it down, because if one thing goes down, they have 9 others backing it up. Okay. So this is going to increase the intrinsic value of your business by doing this. And as a byproduct of not doing it, your business isn't going to be very valuable at all, okay, from an investor's perspective. I mean, I don't know about you guys, but I would never invest into a company or buy any company that is one decision away from going under, right, or out of business. One decision by Meta AI to ban your ad account. Most of the time, it's not even humans banning ad accounts these days. Okay, one decision away from losing your business. No one's investing into that business. Okay, no one's going to want to go into your business with you as well. So,
James, I'll just chime in quick.
of course, buddy.
Yeah. So in terms of risk diversification as well, in all businesses, it is huge. Now, obviously, when you're scaling up and you want to get things moving, you are very time limited. So obviously, until the money's churning, you want to really put your time and effort into one thing. But James is obviously talking about as well, once your business gets to a point where it is going to be saleable, it is going to be valuable, you want to diversing risk. And obviously at that point as well, you should have more money, which you can then buy more time with, and you can invest in those other areas and be more omnipresent. So be conscious of the fact that you don't want to spread yourself too thin as well, even though you are trying to risk diversify until you get the money rolling. And then you really want to focus in on the things that are going to turn the money needle, then very quickly shift into diversification. And he's 100% right on that front. Even myself now, with my personal brand and other businesses that I'm looking into, I'm always looking at, okay, which is the best place I can invest into to actually build an asset that can't be taken away, or much harder to take away, or have certain things that, if other things did go down, i.e. a social media account or even email list now can get banned, right? So I'm even looking at Telegram groups. I've started quite pushing subscribers on Telegram groups, and I know a lot of e-commerce guys at very high levels are now doing that too. The great thing is as well is if you build a social media account and also email lists, Telegram groups, if you then shift into another product, or you then actually want to move away from the current business model that you're doing, you then still have a base of customers or previous customers or people interested in you that you can sell to straight away, or inform that you're going to something else, which therefore, as James said, not only gives value to potential investor, but it also gives value to you as well, because you can carry that with you from business to business. Even if you got it outside of e-commerce as well, that's still yours, or you can sell that list on as well. Social media accounts themselves are saleable, especially if it's linked to a business and not necessarily to a person. Email lists are very saleable. I know lots of guys that actually have that they work as ambassadors for e-commerce businesses, and they carry their own email list, and they then sell to that email list for an e-commerce business, and they make commission off the sale. So these are all great assets to be investing into, and 100% right. We are in like the censored world now, where anyone gets banned for any reason at any time. So you do have to be a little bit careful. And as we know, Meta is the worst, absolute worst for that. So definitely having that omnipresent strategy. And think outside of social media as well. Like I said, Telegram, email lists as well. Start thinking about how you can build those up. And you can use them all in conjunction. Obviously, you can use social media to build your email list and your Telegram list, and then sell on your e-commerce platform. Yeah. So they all work in synergy.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, in terms of some benefits of diversifying where your customers are coming from, one of the main reasons is actually to combat rising ad costs. So, for example, building your email lists, treating that as a real asset, or diversifying what ad platforms you're using, you're going to essentially combat a lot of the ad costs. I mean, in 2024, Meta ad costs have shot up unbelievably, okay? And the cost to advertise goes up every single day and will go up every single day for the rest of our lives, okay? Like, I don't know how many of you guys were running ads on Meta 4 years ago, but it was about half the price to reach 1,000 people as it is now, okay? And in another 4 years, it's going to be double the price to reach how much it costs us to reach 1,000 people right now. So having multiple different ad platforms, you're going to combat just relying on one ad channel, where CPMs, which is the costs to reach 1,000 people within your ads, are just going to rise through the roof. That's a great reason to do it, okay? And as you spend more on one platform, your CPMs will naturally go up as well, because there's only a limited pool of people in like one certain location on one certain platform. So if you have Google ads and other ad platforms, or you have your email marketing, it's going to be much cheaper for you to reach 1,000 people, okay? It's also going to build your brand authority, because if you don't have, let's say, Google search campaigns running for your brand, or you don't have Google shopping ads running for your brand, now it is product dependent, of course, you're not going to be as seen as an authority compared to other brands who in the same space as you, who do have Google shopping, okay, or Google ads set up. Even the thing like having like a trust pilot, okay? I'm not saying that's a form of marketing, but it is a form of way of spreading yourself out. It's going to give you more authority as a brand. It's also going to build more trust with your customers. For example, if you see a product on TikTok, okay, and you're thinking of buying it, you've seen it from a TikTok ad, how many people who see a product or see a brand on TikTok go and search them up on their Instagram profile to check if they're legit? Tons and tons and tons of people. And that's a great trust builder, because if they're seeing you have a big presence on TikTok, they come over to your Instagram profile, and you also have a big presence on Instagram or your Facebook page, or you have a YouTube channel with tons of YouTube shorts on it, and let's say 8,000 subscribers, it's a great trust builder. It's also going to optimize your SEO, which is your search engine optimization. Essentially, the more platforms that you have running, the higher you're going to appear on Google search results, or in search results in different search engines, okay? So if you search your brand name, Undeniable, let's say from my scenario, Undeniable London, you're going to see we have Instagram appear, we have a Trustpilot appear, we have a YouTube account that appears, we have like a Facebook page that appears, and we rank basically much higher than everyone else, okay, because we're more visible. And of course, it's also going to allow you to build that relationship with the customer faster, because it takes a lot of touch points for someone to actually buy from you nowadays. Trust me, no one is going to buy unless you have a crazy impulse buy product, like a hyped trending product. People are going to take time, especially if you're building a brand, before they buy from you. And so knowing that there's multiple touch points, I think last year they said it was 21 touch points for someone to see your brand before they buy from you. This year, it's much higher than that. Could be 30, 40, 50 times that someone has to see a piece of your content before they actually pull the trigger. Now, how can we speed up that time frame in which someone sees your brand or your product 50 times? Okay, I don't know the exact number. Let's just assume 50, okay? Well, we can be everywhere, and we can be on lots of platforms as well. And you also may find, guys, that let's say your business is reliant on, let's say, just Meta ads right now. You could test TikTok, okay, just randomly, and that could all of a sudden become your most profitable platform. And you didn't even know it, but you didn't realize that all of your audience are actually on TikTok. You've been running on Meta this whole time. You try it on TikTok, your business explodes, and that becomes your main acquisition platform. And you don't know that until you test it. Okay, you could have a product, all of a sudden you run ads on Pinterest, and it absolutely goes through the roof. And the only way you would have found that out is because you had to test it. You tested it. Maybe none of the brands in your space are running ads on Reddit, or no, sorry, on Pinterest, sorry. And you're the only player. Turns out all of the target audience are on Pinterest. Okay. So there's lots of potential opportunities there. And that's why we do test when scaling out. So here is a few marketing channels that we have available. Okay. Meta ads. We have organic marketing, so Facebook and Instagram, organic meta. We have email marketing, which is predominantly retention marketing or marketing to the people who are very, very aware of your brand or your product already. So it's your opportunity to push them over the line, get them to pay you quickly, or get them coming back to you over and over and over again. Every single online business and e-commerce brand in pretty much every field should have email marketing in place, okay, once you're at a certain point. You got TikTok ads. You've also got TikTok organic, but you may not remember TikTok shop as well. For example, so there's lots of different routes you can take, and I don't want to overwhelm you because this is a long process. Okay, this is a brand building process. You're not going to be able to have all of these platforms up and going tomorrow. This could take a year. Okay, this is like brand building. Okay, real big money is involved in doing this. This is how the big players operate their businesses. Okay, could have Google ads. You could have YouTube. You could have short form YouTube. So you guys know YouTube Shorts. You could also have long form YouTube as well. Long form content nowadays is one of the biggest trust builders. And while everyone else is going onto Instagram Reels, onto TikTok, your brand could separate yourself by having long form content selling the product. And that's the ultimate trust builder. Okay, if you can get someone to watch you or someone or an influencer sell your product for 20 minutes, that's going to get sales. Okay, so it's just worth exploring, worth thinking about when you're building your business. Okay, Snapchat, Reddit, for example. There are agencies, Reddit agencies, where you can pay people to like ask questions about your brand and then list positive feedback. Okay, like Reddit, you could even just go and make a Reddit post for your brand, mentioning how you bought from your brand and it was the best brand you've ever bought from for this particular item and you absolutely love it. And all of a sudden, there's that in the Google search and someone might find it down the line and it could be a good route to take. You got influencer affiliate schemes. There are some businesses that rely entirely on influencer affiliate marketing. They don't have any paid advertising and they just rely on influencer affiliate marketing. And there's different, if you're using Shopify, there's many Shopify apps that you can integrate into your business, give them a custom discount code. And if people use that custom discount code or give them a link to the website, like a custom link to the website, and then all the sales that go through either that discount code that you've given to that influencer or their custom link tracked. And you can get people to automatically pay out these influencers for all of the sales that they get. Let's say 20% of every sale that they get through their own custom link to your website. All of a sudden, you could have an army of influencers selling your product. Now, imagine you have, let's say, 100 people all highly incentivized to sell your products for you on your behalf. It doesn't matter that if Meta ad costs rise or if Google ad costs rise, because you have 100 people selling your product for you. They're highly incentivized to do so. It's worth thinking about, okay? And then, of course, customer loyalty programs as well. There are Shopify apps which you can add, which can have like email flows that go out post-purchase and incentivize customers to come back and either do affiliate for your own products where you can get them points. You can do point schemes where if people refer enough, customers refer enough people, they rank up enough points, which you could either give them money off their next order or a free product, or you could actually give them stone hard cold cash because it's profitable for you. And that could be a route for you guys to advertise your business as well. Does anyone have any questions so far, guys?
Could you elaborate a bit more about the customer loyalty programs? Can you make some examples of what that might look like?
Absolutely. So there's a Shopify app called Yopto, Yopto, okay, Yopto. And it's a very, very big platform. And this is the actual Shopify app that like all the major players use. We use it across our brands, 2 of them. And yeah, you can basically rack up points for customers who refer friends. And with these points, they can either like convert these points into cash, or they can convert them into like coupons and money off the orders. And we've seen it across some very large brands, like who have a big customer base, making a lot of money from purely affiliate schemes. Now, if you have this, Let's say all your ad accounts get banned. Let's say your social media channels get banned. Let's say you're wiped off the face of the earth and all you have left is your Shopify website. You're still driving revenue. You can still feed your family, right? Or you can still bring home the money and drive a nice car, whatever it is, right? So very valuable. Obviously, that's for slightly bigger brands. So you don't really need to worry about that right now. But all of these concepts are worth understanding and knowing, okay? That's the really important part about what we're running through tonight. Is it's very important to be aware of this, okay? Because then you always have that forward trajectory of where you want to take things, and you see the bigger picture and how the bigger players play. Now, you guys also should test new markets, because running ads in a new market is the quickest way to 2x, 3x, or even 4x your revenue in a very, very short space of time. So on screen right now, I have a screenshot from one of my ad accounts. Okay. And this brand was founded in USA. Okay. We only ran ads in the USA. This is a drop shipping store. And when we tested this product, we only tested it in the USA. Okay. The reason we didn't do UK is because of VAT and certain tax reasons. So this store doesn't operate in the UK. I'm sure if we did, we'd probably make a lot, but for tax reasons, we don't. So as you can see, we were just running this top campaign here. We spent 123,000, reached 13.8 million people, and it had 5,646 purchases. Okay. So it's about 4 or 5K a day, okay, in the USA. Well, all we did was duplicate this campaign, put it into Australia, and our business quite literally, not quite doubled, but nearly doubled in a very, very short space of time. So in Australia, so right now we've spent 72 grand. We've reached 10 million people. But what you'll find is if you look at the cost per purchase, okay, this is the cost per sale, the cost to acquire a new customer. Very important concept to understand if you don't understand this. When you're advertising, you're paying money to acquire a new customer. How much that customer is worth to you on day one and over a period of time is down to your business. Okay. But as you can see, so in the USA, we spent £21.86 to acquire a new customer. Okay. Whereas when we launched in Australia, £15.48 was how much we paid to acquire a new customer. So we're spending almost £6.50 less to get a new customer. So there's £6.50 more profit per sale than in the USA. And before we tested Australia, we weren't even aware of it. So this exact concept could also happen if you try new ad platforms, but also test new markets. You could even look into exploring some, if you speak to your suppliers, but I've seen lots of guys launch in European markets as well. Okay, so you've got the big four, which is primarily Australia. You've also got New Zealand as well. It's a great market that not many people know about. You've got Canada, you've got United States of America, you've got United Kingdom, and you've also got Ireland as well. So a lot of people don't realize that if they're advertising into the UK, they're not hitting people in Ireland, but they speak English. Okay. So you could test these other markets, see how they respond. Now, if it doesn't work, so be it, you've tested it. That's the game of marketing. Okay. Marketing is all about testing. Okay. No one knows the answers to anything really when you're marketing, and when you're in e-commerce, you have to test it and then make your decisions based off data. Okay. That's what you're doing when you're running ads as well. You're paying for data. So they're the main markets. Really, it's UK, Canada, Australia, and USA. So definitely test those markets for your brand or your product if you're driving revenue right now, if you have not done already. But Germany, massive market. Netherlands, massive, massive market. Okay, Denmark, very high earning market. Small population. I've seen a lot of guys run stores in Denmark and absolutely kill it. Okay, and you could do some further exploration onto different markets. Okay. And obviously make sure logistically it's all good, but from a supplier perspective, if you're drop shipping especially. But yeah, big game changer. Quickest way to double your guys' business is to test new markets. Does anyone have any questions?
Yeah, James, I've got one. Does that then involve oh, hello everybody as well. Yeah, does that involve like translation into native tongue, or is it literally just running the same ads again but targeting it at that specific nation or continent?
Great question. So obviously, like USA, Canada, Australia, New Zealand, etc., no translation is needed. Okay. When you're selling into markets like Netherlands, Germany, okay, Netherlands and Germany, for example, for initial testing, you don't actually need to translate. Okay. We'll make sure the currency converted, but you don't need to translate. If it proven to be a winner, okay, so actually all of a sudden, oh, this is actually a lot of opportunity within this market, then I do advise translating, okay? And you can hire a freelancer on Fiverr or Upwork, which are like freelancer agencies where you can get access to people who can translate stores for you. And you do want to translate it, okay? Yeah, you do.
Thanks, mate.
Yeah. Awesome. So basically, in short, you guys do all of this, you'll make lots more money, okay? And you know, you'll develop yourself as an e-commerce entrepreneur, because having these skill sets is the most valuable thing that you guys can have. When I was building my brand with Phil, my brother, we didn't necessarily get rewarded from our efforts in a big way for 2 or 3 years, okay? And when we were actually building the business, we were taking action every single day, but from a financial perspective, very little reward, okay? And we were just chipping away. And yes, then we hired mentorship, but it was really once we hired the mentorship, but not only that, we had a breakthrough. Okay, we went from about £20,000 a month in sales to 85K a month. Okay, so from 20K to 85K a month. That happened in about a 3-month time frame, probably 2.5 months. Okay, and that was 20K, and that was about 20% roughly margins to 85K a month at about 32% margins. It was that month. Okay, from that point, every aspect of our lives completely transformed for the rest of our lives. And since that point, like we've been killing it. Okay. And that was through the compounded efforts of taking action and pushing ourselves to learn more and develop these skills, regardless of any short-term result. And that's very, very important for you guys as you're building your businesses. The skills are the most important aspects, because if you commit to the process of becoming not only the best version of yourself possible in every realm of life, but becoming as best possible, like as an e-commerce entrepreneur and as online business, and just studying and absorbing as much as you possibly can, which all of you guys are doing because you've invested into yourselves. As a byproduct, over a long period of time, the result is absolutely exponential. I'm sure you guys have seen a curve chart, right, where the progress is pretty flat, maybe it's going up slightly, and then all of a sudden, let's say year 3, bang, absolutely steam trains, like skyrockets. And that's what's going to happen to you guys. Some of you guys, and I know a lot of you guys have winning products, so you're scaling nice and aggressively. You guys are also going to have periods where it's much harder, okay? Business is never just an upward trajectory growth curve. And it's the people that are willing to persist regardless of the short-term result and are committed to the process of becoming the best version of themselves in every single realm of life, and place a big emphasis on the process, that are going to be the ones that win the game, okay, over the long term. That's literally all I've done, okay? And I've committed, and I am extremely hungry to win, okay? I've never met anyone my age that's hungrier to win than I am, okay? I have a burning desire. Okay, you need burning desire, you need faith, you need action, you need the right strategy, and you need a mastermind. So all of you guys should network with each other. Make sure, if you guys haven't, drop your IGs in the chat, connect with each other, mastermind, learn more. You guys are going through a transformational process of becoming beasts in e-commerce, and it's not going to happen on your own. Okay, meet each other, learn more, be in a journey of constant and never-ending improvement, and you'll make lots of money. We have a Q&A. Judged by the silence, I'm not sure there'll be too many questions, but does anyone have any questions?
I think I joined the chat a little bit late, but none is very well explained, and yeah, I think it's all good from my end.
Amazing, Andrew.
I've got one again, James, just around like targeting ads in specific places. Have you tested out Korea South, obviously?
I have not. That'd be quite interesting.
Yeah, I grew up in a place that had the highest population of Koreans outside of Korea in the UK. And those guys have got a lot of money. And not only that, their English is impeccable, and not only that, but when I was looking at some of the products that we're going to sell on travel cases, the majority or the highest amount of people that had bought from the stores were from South Korea.
Wow.
So I just wondered if that was something that you'd looked at.
I'm not, but it's a good idea, my man. First person to make 100K in Korea wins the race. I've not tested it. It'd be good to test some products in Korea. Probably quite untapped.
Yeah.
As with anything, you need to check the logistics behind it, okay? Because not all suppliers, like I've seen drop shipping suppliers that can ship to USA but don't have the ability to ship to the UK, for example. Okay. So you've got to speak to your suppliers. I mean, if you can ship to Korea, marketing is just a 9-letter word for test, okay? And when someone comes up to me with like a great product, all right, it's impossible for me to know factually if this product is going to work or not because I'm not Jesus, okay? I'm James, and all we have to do is test, okay, and get the data, and then basically run with the data. Okay, it's called action, analyze, adjust. You come up with a hypothesis, you test that hypothesis, which is taking action. You analyze the data that's come from taking action, and then you adjust accordingly. And as we said earlier, you do so until you become successful. And ecom, there's so much damn opportunity, it's unbelievable. There are thousands and thousands of winning products out there. Now, if you haven't found like a winning product on your first product, you try again, okay? Unsuccessful products are also part of the game. You don't want to be emotionally attached to any of your businesses, really, or any of your products. Okay, one of the cardinal sins of wealth generation is relying on one income stream. Okay, I myself, I do not rely on one income stream. Okay, no one I've ever met who's in a very strong, prosperous financial position has one income stream. Okay, unless you build one business, you exit it for 100 million. That's cool. Unfortunately, I've never done that. But you equally like you don't want to you test products, okay, and you have multiple running all at once. And yeah, anything that runs, you just run with it, scale it to the moon, take it for everything it's got, build it into a brand. If it lasts 5 years, fantastic. If it doesn't, you have this skill set. You keep taking action. You keep taking action. As long as your wins outweigh your losses by a big, big way, you'll be good.
You only need one home run in life.
Yeah.
I have a question. So, I mean, of course, it takes time to know if an ad or if a channel is good or viable for the brand. Some products are not good for all of the channels. How long do you have to test that channel to know whether or not, like, what? Let's say I'm selling on maybe TikTok Shop. How do I know that it's time for me to call it quits if it's not working? And also, how do I know when the right time to do that is of the year?
Yeah, really, really good question. So, I mean, let's take TikTok ads, for example, okay? It very much depends on your circumstance, okay? If you're doing extremely well on Meta ads, and then you try TikTok ads, you definitely want to give TikTok ads like a very reasonable budget and a bit of time before pulling the trigger and saying it's a no-go, okay? But if you're running ads on Meta and you're not doing very well, then you probably want to be a little bit stricter on how long you give TikTok because there's no point burning money. So, I mean, there's no like exact time frame. When I'm testing a product, I never give it really anything less than 5 times the average order value. Okay. And before turning it off. So let's say I run ads. Let's say I'm selling a £50 product. Okay. And I run ads on Meta. I won't make any decisions before I've at least spent £250. Okay, which is 5 times the sale price of the product before making any decisions, because anything less than that isn't really enough data. So it's mainly done on how much you spend. As I say, 5x is really where I base my decisions at. Sometimes, occasionally, I will pull the trigger earlier, but it's mainly based on intuition. Sometimes I'll give it a little bit longer than that. But if let's say I launched some ads, selling it for £50, and I've spent £250 on ads, and let's say I've made 5% profit margins, I'll keep testing. Like, I'm not going to turn it off just because it's even if I break even, even if I make a very, very small loss, I'll still keep testing. I won't just turn it off. It's only really if like I make no sales. 5 times the AOV will come off immediately. And the same for if you're exploring new platforms as well. Awesome. Was this useful for you guys today?
Yes, very.
Definitely.
Yeah, absolutely, James. Thanks very much, mate.
My pleasure, guys. Obviously, I know you're all at different stages. So if you're at the slightly earlier stage, it's just important for you to understand and digest these concepts because these are what to come in the future. Okay, what we discussed today is quite advanced. Okay. But frankly, if you're learning e-commerce, you want to learn, who wants to learn the easy stuff? You want to learn the advanced stuff. All right. And yeah, you guys just keep pushing forward and we'll kill it. I'm gonna try and do a group call, as I say, once a week as well. So I'm gonna probably stick to Wednesdays at 6 p.m. So what I'll do is I'll send you guys a like a recurring Zoom link. I think actually the Zoom link that you guys are on right now will be recurring anyway. So we'll do Wednesdays at 6 p.m. and we'll do a different topic each time. If you guys do have any topics that you guys want to discuss in like a group call, or you want to have a group open discussion about it, or if you want to do more open calls about any topic at all, really, just let me know and we can organize that for you guys.
I've also got an ebook for everyone. It's by Eugene Schwartz. It's one of the godfathers of marketing. It's from like the 60s, but you can't get a hard copy, particularly under £1,000. But I have an ebook, so just if you want that, either drop James a message or drop me a DM on Insta, and I can ping you a Google Drive link. It's just all part of all things marketing and how we can get a deeper understanding. But it's something I really read quite a lot extensively when I started out in my first year of marketing, and same with James, we studied it extensively. So yeah, feel free to drop either of us a DM or get a Google Drive link set up for that.
Yeah, it's like the best book of marketing of all time. It's very, very complex, very advanced. I've read it probably 5 times.
You'll pick it up quicker the more times you read it, or if you deeply study certain sections, etc.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Excellent.
I have one more question. Is it cool if I?
Of course, buddy.
Just wondering, with when you're talking about the customer journey and how to increase the value of that, when you're drop shipping in particular, and let's say you don't have like a branded product as such, are there any like steps you could say that you could take when you're drop shipping to improve that customer journey in terms of what they receive isn't necessarily going to be branded?
Yeah, good question. So the customer journey doesn't start once they become a customer. There's a whole journey that your prospects have to take to actually become a customer, okay? So from the moment that they see your brand or your product for the first time, there is a journey all the way to getting them to become a customer, okay? And then once they're a customer, there's another journey to get them to become a repeat customer. And then there's another journey that they have to take to buy a third time and a fourth time and a fifth time. And if you want to do, let's say, loyalty programs, there's a whole journey that they have to take to actually become a loyal affiliate for your brand. Okay, so there's a journey through the whole funnel. That's why they say a funnel. Okay, the top of the funnel, the middle of the funnel, the bottom of the funnel. Okay, the top of the funnel is basically the part of the journey where they don't know who you are, the awareness stage of the funnel. Okay, they're unaware of your brand, your product. They may even be unaware of the problem that they're facing. And that's why when you have an ad, you call out the problem that they're facing. Are you sick and tired of XYZ? Bang, I'm problem aware. Now I enter the funnel. And then there's that journey that comes down to the bottom of the funnel, okay, which is really the conversion phase, okay? And that's where you have to get them down. Now, if you're drop shipping, to answer your question, Louis, and you want to get people to come back to you over and over and over again, at the end of the day, people are only going to come back to you if they have a great product and they actually enjoy their experience. Because, I mean, I've got a dropshipping store right now. I can't tell you guys the product, but what I will tell you is that it takes quite a long time to come. It's not that great. So we're optimizing this in terms of like actual customer experience. I'm being fully transparent. It's limited I can do. It's quite a unique product. Okay, very unique product. No one's selling this thing. And to actually improve that customer experience, well, the first thing I've done is I've spoken to the suppliers. So we have got custom packaging. You guys absolutely, if you guys are going directly to factories or directly to the suppliers themselves, if you can get custom packaging for your brands, okay? For drop shipping. You might have to buy, let's say, 5,000 units of this packaging. For this brand, I bought 10,000 units of this packaging. I think it was 4 cents. per. Like I paid like literally like I think it was $450 or something crazy for 10,000 pieces of custom packaging. And I still drop ship. Okay, so that's improved the customer experience more. I've also got tags on these items now, which were literally like 1 cent per tag. They're quite cool. They're cardboard, and they come with the order. That improves the customer journey. I've then also negotiated with the suppliers about, all right, we've got this current shipping option. I think it's Yanwen that we're shipping from China by. This is fully drop shipping. Yanwen, I think it is. And at the start, it wasn't Yanwen. So I've had to go through a whole process of speaking to them on a video call. Okay, and again, you're going to get the result that other people do not have if you do what other people don't do. Spoke to the supplier on a video call and got them to research into how they can make the shipping faster. They had to do some digging. It's a girl. She had to speak to her boss. She found out about Yanwen, which saves about 4 days on delivery time. I have to pay, I think it's like $1 extra per order to ship it by a Yanwen, but I'll take that dollar hit per order so the customers have a better experience, because in the long run, that better experience is going to lead to more money. So that's the first thing you have to do, is increase that customer experience as much as humanly possible. Now, if you guys have just tested a product and you're using like a private agent, like a lot of you guys might use private agents, because you're essentially using a middleman, it's a lot harder to get custom packaging, for example, or like kind of negotiate because you're going for a middleman. So I always try, and you can test products using like sourcing, like private agents or sourcing box or whatever it is. Okay. But you want to move towards always for every brand directly to the factory or directly to the supplier itself. Usually that's through Alibaba.com for most products. Okay. And then you're going directly to the factory so you can have way more control over everything. Second to that, post-purchase email flows, super important. How personalized are your post-purchase email flows? So we always send a thank you directly from the founder itself after someone purchases. So it's literally a message which is super personal. We utilize their first name in that email. We sign it off with a name. For most brands, it's not my name, but you can like literally sign it off with a name. Okay. And then in brackets, founder of XYZ brand. Okay, that's a personal touch. Keep them updated. So post-purchase email flows, the more you can utilize them, okay, the better their experience is going to be. And then again, how often do they see you? This is another benefit of going multi-channel or omni-channel. Because if you're just relying on meta ads, let's say they buy from you, they don't go on Instagram for 2 weeks, but you guys are running Google ads, they're going to be seeing your brand over and over and over again, even after they've purchased. So you're going to be at the top of their mind the whole time. So they're thinking of you more, and then they're more likely to place a purchase. A lot of your ads are not just going to be targeted on acquiring new customers, but paid ads also are a route to retain existing customers and get them to remember you. Okay, you can also do retargeting ads as well. Does that answer your question, Louis?
Yeah, perfect, man. Thank you.
My pleasure.
I just wanted to ask James on that point of obviously being drop shipping from the start and not having a brand per se. With regards to returning customers, obviously that would mean you'd have a product or products that would entice them to come back. Like if you had a certain products that they are like single channel purchases, obviously that doesn't work on that front, does it, somewhere else? So I suppose to really optimize the retention of customers and make the most of it, you'd have to have products or multiple products that are, basically get the customer to come back to you. If they were to buy, I don't know, for an example type of thing, but you'd, stationery, for example, for instance, you did maybe think, right, I'll go back to them because they've got lovely pens or whatever, so I'll go back and get a notepad, you know what I mean? Just a kind of example, and they've got a lovely brand. So, but I guess I'm at an early stage, so I suppose that's why that question's thrown your way, kind of thing.
So look, if you're selling something that someone will only buy once, all right, let's say a Hoover, okay? Say you're selling a Hoover. No one needs 2 Hoovers. And once you do buy a Hoover, you're probably not going to buy another Hoover for an entire year, or maybe 5 years once that Hoover's broken, okay? So what do? Because you can't just upsell them another Hoover because literally no one needs 2 Hoovers. Well, what you can do is you can look at complementary products, okay? What products can I have in my store that complement the main product? So can we sell Hoover accessories? All right. Or if the Hoover is specifically for a car, for example, Can we sell Hoover accessories? Can we sell car accessories? Because this entire Hoover is made for a car. Okay, so it's always about thinking from the customer's perspective. If I'm a customer, what am I looking for and what can I serve them? Okay, it's the relationship. That's why I stress to the people I work alongside as much as I possibly can to understand exactly who you're selling to at a deep, deep level so you can build everything around them. You guys may have heard me say that before. The reason is because you can think like them. You can also, once you have a customer, you can call them up. For example, you can ask them for feedback on their order. A lot of people in e-com just think we're some digital nomads that stay in a cave and go on our laptops. You can do that if you want to, but actually the more personal you guys can be and understand and build relationships with these people and treat it more as a real business where you know the customer, the better you'll be. Okay, so you could call your customers up. Thank you so much for purchasing your Hoover. I'm sure the Hoover's amazing, so you don't need another Hoover. But, I mean, is there anything else you need? You could literally ask them. Or
Yeah.
if there are any accessories that we could provide you on top of your Hoover that would help your experience using our product better. Or, all right, you've purchased this Hoover for a car. Do you need a Hoover for your lounge, for example, or just for your entire house? So maybe you have a store which is predominantly around car Hoovers, but maybe you have an entire section. Once they're super, super happy with their purchase, built around house Hoovers, for example, just as an example, right? So it's just thinking from the customer's perspective and how can I introduce products that complement my main product, okay, and upsell them. Or, for example, I mean, let's say you sell like I don't know, let's say you sell pens, you could sell ink. Well, people need ink constantly, so maybe you could set up subscriptions for people to buy ink. Maybe they get ink every single month for their pens. Or, I don't know, it's just an example. In ecom, consumable products do kill it. A lot of consumable products, meaning a product that is like if I'm selling a drink, you're gonna drink that drink and it's gonna be gone. So you're gonna need another drink. A lot of brands kill it in the consumable space within e-commerce because they can set up subscriptions. And if you can get a lot of monthly recurring revenue from your store, that's also great as well. Consumable products are much harder to drop ship, unfortunately. You could even do like bundles as well. Maybe you could buy, I don't know, you could try and bundle your products as well. Yeah, and generally, I mean, the stores that win the game are the ones that have the most profit per customer. Okay, the more profit you can make per customer, the more money you can spend to acquire a new customer on ads. Now, the brands that can spend the most money to acquire a new customer win the game. This is why I teach the people who I work with that we never want to sell products below £25, because if you do, it's going to be very hard to make a lot of money, because there's the other brands out there that are selling a similar product, or they have bundles, they have a more expensive product and they're selling it for £100, and they just have triple the amount of profit per customer than you. They will literally destroy you from an ad perspective because they can spend 3 times more than you to acquire a customer. Or when you're running ads, ads are an auction place. Okay, so you're bidding against other companies to show your ads to the right people at the right time. Now, if you're just spending way less than everybody else, you're going to lose. Does that help?
No. Yeah, that's massively helped the concept of it all. And yeah, no, that's really, really helpful there, James. Thank you.
My pleasure, guys.
Fantastic presentation. Thank you so much, James. I'm sure everyone found real value in this.